Good morning, everyone. Good morning, London. I think we're still good to go. I'm just checking if it's. I'm so traumatized by the freezing and the bad sound that I'm always watching. But anyway, hello, hello, hello. Let me know if anything changes. Please let me know. The fixes so far has been temporary, so we'll see. Okay. Okay, so this green box on NQ is an old opening range gap that I marked many, long time ago. And I'll show you on the higher time frame why it's interesting to have it marked, because I believe there's a lot of work still to be done in this area. Let me show you. Regular trading hours. As you can see here, there's a lot of still a lot of imbalances in this area. On the daily, we had a bullish pass through, but no sell side. On the 4 hours, both lagging, right? You can see that. So it's important to go through all time frames to see, okay, what time frame is what missing. So yeah, this is the area that I'm still very interested in. It's also on the daily breaker area. The only thing that I'm sort of like wondering, are we going to break it or are we going to go back up because we're still on the daily breaker? So I'm a bit cautious in this area. We do have a gap here. I noticed that, but that would mean if we go below this breaker, we are obviously going lower. But I just really want to see what we're going to do here now. So here we go. Let's put it on 15-minute. So yesterday, this was a very slow drip. We did not take Asia low, or London low, sorry. This was London low. Where's London? Did I have it? There we go. So as you can see here, ES did take out a Asia or a London low, I should say. This was London. And Q created an equal low. Hey, Freighter Redox, how are you doing? Hey, Zar Trader, hello, hello. So we created equals, relatively equals. ES took London yesterday. So it was quite interesting to see because I think we were even before 130. I think before 130, ES already took out that low here. When you see that happen a lot of the time and it keeps dripping, a lot of the times in that scenario you can not expect, but you can calculate that it might just not take it out and just maybe create like a situation like this. If it still moves down, but it doesn't show any strength, right? So it's actually quite beautiful. Did it just really reject it here? So let's see. Yeah, let's go to the lower time frame. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of wicks here. Gap here, gap. Wat is er, Popje? Into 7. See, this wick already went in 50% of this wick. Just one. So, and then we went up. Now I'm wondering if this one might be a rejection block here. So we go down. I just want to see if we're going to reject in this area here. Equals. There are a lot of, when you see wicks like this, it means it's going to be choppy. It's not going to be smooth to the downside. It's going to be choppy, choppy, choppy. Let's see. And we're again around midnight. So when you hover around midnight, don't be too eager to get into a trade because it might just chop around again. So. Hey, David. Good morning. I just realized SA is in the same time zone as Central. Yes. Yeah. We're just like literally almost, it could be 1 hour difference. But yeah, we're definitely it's one line, right? So I think with the Netherlands, I have 1 hour difference. And also depends on daylight savings as well. Andrew, 2550 long. It is just last set up for today. Later, it is just New York session. Okay, okay. Have you been trading Asia as well, Andrew? Where are you? It sounds like you had a long day already. I'm not. So I mark the 150 to 210 macro. I usually use that macro just to watch what price is doing. I'll go over gold as well. 24/5 trading. Well said. Well said. Yeah. 24/7. And when there's opportunity, there's opportunity. And if you're awake, you take it, right? Okay, I'm just watching how we are behaving in this wick. We did not go to the midpoint. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Abdullah Yassim. How are you doing? Oh, you're number 3 already. And Andrew's number 1. Yeah, that's the thing with the crown. It's always funny to. Hey, Shoulder Gold. How are you doing? Big move for Asia already, or what? Yes. It's not that big in the sense of it's still consolidating. You can see it goes up, down, up, down. So we're sort of like accumulating, so that's still good. It is not really a small move because it's still quite a bit of points, but it's 61 points. So for an accumulation phase, you could say, okay, it might be a little bit larger than average, but it's still not really. It's still okay. It's not like, oh, we cannot expect it. We need to be. We might have a choppy session anyway, but I'm more worried about the hanging around midnight again. You know what that means, right? We swept Asia here at 130, as you can see, minor. So that's why I'm also not too eager to take a long at the moment. I'm just looking at this. I'm interested in this structure here. Shoulder gold. Do you see what I'm seeing here? This little baby. Oh, did we actually wicked it? Let me see the low here. Let me check. 179. Oh shit. We actually wicked. This already had its wick. Yeah. Forget it. This little wick went already into here, so this one is already done. Okay. Hello, Nikarov. A Fisher trader. Hello. Hello, hello. This could be a nice rejection here. 130. Well, that RB you mark out rejected something. The question if there is liquidity in proximity. So wicks are just gaps, and the market doesn't do. It's not only about liquidity. The market does only 2 things. It grabs liquidity, or it seeks. It balances out imbalances. So it's both. It's not only about liquidity. And also, if you look at a specific time frame, you want to identify, have you taken out internal liquidity, and is it on its way to external, or vice versa? And this green box is an old gap. So there's a lot of gaps here as well that needs to be balanced. So that's why we're going to it's most likely will take its time in this green box, because it's an old gap. It's an old opening range gap. It can be any gap. It can be, and on the higher time frame, it's wick. So if you go on the daily, you'll see a lot of wicks there. Wicks are just a bunch of gaps, and a gap is an imbalance, and the market needs to balance out those imbalances. So it's not only liquidity that the market is seeking. So, and there was something last week. There was someone who said, "Oh, we're going to take that liquidity is really close," but never got there because the market was doing something else. It was more interested in that time to balance out that imbalance. So if you have a rejection block, for example, it doesn't take out the whole, it doesn't go to the top or the bottom. It doesn't take out the liquidity. It rejects. Why? That's an imbalance. It's balancing out that imbalance. And then it goes back into the range. And then that high or low from that specific wick, then it becomes liquidity. So I love wicks because wicks are for me a roadmap. They tell me, I watch wicks very closely. Not in when we have a lot of like if we are seek and destroy and we create constantly wicks. I don't like that. But in a normal situation when we have larger wicks, for me they are my roadmap, and I use them a lot for TP, but also to enter on where I enter a trade. So I for me wicks tell me more than actually bodies. Not that bodies don't tell the story. Don't get me wrong, but for me I love using wicks in my analysis. Because of they are an imbalance, and what does the market do? It balances out imbalances. Is it normal for the market to reverse right before taking? Exactly. So a lot of people are taken by surprise. They go for that liquidity. They think, oh, it's going to take. So what did it do? It was balancing out an imbalance, which were a lot of wicks down there, right? And a lot of the times, shoulder gold, if you see weekly high, monthly high, you see a lot of the times it doesn't go there straight away. It just stops like 10 points before it, and then it goes back into the range and it does something, right? Why? Because there is a form of liquidity or another imbalance just before it. And also what a lot of people automatically say, oh, we swept Asia high, so we're going to go for Asia low. It doesn't have to be always the same. Right now we might go even higher, right? Let's go to the higher time frame. So you see these wicks here. When you see a lot of wicks, It's never smooth sailing. Here you go. We rejected in this wick, and this one rejected in this wick. And we did not take our previous day low. Well, ES did that always. ES did that already before 130, right? So, and as you can see, shoulder goal is also exactly the midpoint of that opening range of my old gap that I marked. You see that? So this gap that I marked is exactly the midpoint, and a midpoint of a gap. Did you not ask that question yesterday? Is the midpoint equally as important? Well, you can see it, right? This is a good example. I think it was you. I think it was you that asked me, is the midpoint of a gap equally important? I think it was you. Well, here you can see it exactly. The midpoint is here, and the liquidity that is resting. So midpoints, time, midpoints of between NWOGs are equally important as the NWOG itself, because the algo uses them as references of liquidity points. But here you can see, okay, I don't know who then was who asked that, but the midpoints, as you can see here, is equally as important. It rejected exactly at the midpoint. Now I have another chart where I have all my old gaps on, so I don't try it, but now this one is now I'm watching this, so I moved it to this chart so we can see it and watch it together. Um, um, okay, let's have a look at gold quickly because I see gold is dropping. I'm actually waiting for a short on gold, but um, uh-uh. So shoulder goal is asking which one he should choose. Which one? Shoulder goal is not really about choosing what, but I think it's good to, if you just want to, for data, sometimes it depends on, you need more context about that, but it's good to look at them both. But for example, I'm a lot of the time on the 4 hour, but I use the 1 hour a lot, but it's not like you can easily say, oh, I'm going to use the midpoint of that, and that will give me my answer. It doesn't work like that, because if there's a wick on a higher time frame where that fair value gap is part of, you might want to grade the wick as well and to see what the gradients are. Because sometimes it just goes to 25, 1/3, or half of it. So it just really depends on where you are and what price is doing. So it's not like, oh, if I take that one, I have my answer and it will go to the midpoint. But you have to look, what you need to start doing is look at them and you journal afterwards, and you have to compare them. It's a lot of work, but then at some point you'll see some logic and you will see, okay, if I would have used that one in that situation, it went to that point. And grade them as well. Use the 1/4 and 1/3, or at least use quarters, and then see what happened. I cannot just say, oh, which one should I use? It depends on what you're looking at and what you are trading. And like I go all, you don't see that. I do that on other tabs. I go a lot through other time frames as well, just to see what price is doing. But it's not like you can always say, oh, I'm just using the 15 or the or the 1 hour. It really depends. For example, on the 4 hour, I'm not even interested in any fair value gaps. I'm more interested in this wick, to be honest. Well, and most likely in this wick on the lower time frame, there will be a fair value. There will be gaps as well. But for me, this wick tells me literally most that I need to know. So I'm going to grade this one. Let me grade you. And I hope it rejects somewhere in that wick. So that's will be where I will start short, be interested in a short most likely. Now, let's have a look on the lower time frame in the 1 hour. We have one here. So if I go with the 1 hour, for example, right, I look at this one here, this gap. This gap matches with 50% of the OTE level. So I also compare, okay, what do I see if I like what I did here. Oh, hold on. Let me go to the 1 hour. So when I look at shoulder gold, if I look for confluences, like I calculated the dealing range, right? We created a range here from here to here. So this is 50%, which is in a fair value gap, and we have a wick here. So I also like, okay, this is an interesting area. And that matches with my 1 hour fair value gap. And I'm looking, where's the 50%? Okay, that's right over here in this area. So I'm looking if we're going to use the 50%, because obviously we want to, see if we're going to premium and discount. Now, it can be enough, 38%. Sometimes when price is really, really, really bearish, for example, it just could go up here and go back down. But we can see it's going up, right? So it's highly likely that it's going to go higher, maybe go into this little gap here. But then again, does it need to? we'll see. So I'm watching this right now, and if it's still very bullish, then I'm going to look at this 4-hour wick right over here. So that's how I look at it. So I'm not limiting myself to one fair value gap. I just want to see, are we reacting? Are we going to react in this one or this one? If not, are we going to use this wick? So I'm right now, you can see I'm not trading at all. I'm just watching. I'm just really watching the market. I can see it goes up, but I'm not interested right now because I'm just sort of like, okay, I could take the trade, but I just, it's almost, you can say, okay, well, up to here, 0.5, we already passed this level, so we can almost assume that we might go into this area here maybe to for premium and discount sakes, right? But I would really love to see, I would love to see it go into this wick here. Let's see. Does the level for you become stronger the more you can? Yes, definitely. So if I manage to find more levels that coincide, so if I see a 0.5 level and another level that is also matching that area exactly and with some fibs, for example, yes, definitely, yeah. And also if it's exactly around a specific time. So here you can see the 0.25 is exactly at 3 o'clock, at yesterday's 3 o'clock. So I give this level, I'm like, okay, this could also be a level of rejection here. It also has a gap here. You see this here, for example, little gap here we formed yesterday. So instead of going to 0.5, then if we pass this has my interest here. But let's see, because now we're just entering the bottom of the yesterday opening range gap. We might not even go further, right? So let's see. So I'm just watching. For me, I know what's your name? Oh, sorry, I forgot. Someone had a really good trade already. Oh yeah, Andrew. Andrew took that short, long. So he had a good trade. He was already well positioned, I guess, right? Andrew, did you enter here? Or did you enter 250? You said 150. What was it? So shoulder goal, that will come with experience. Once you start journaling and you start to see if you use time and you see like you will see more and more and you start adding more and more. But that comes with just over time. And just focus what you're doing already really well. Focus on liquidity, focusing on gaps, asking a lot of questions. Being interested in what's going on exactly. What's the logic behind the trade? If you journal, and especially if you paper trade, that's why I paper trade a lot, because I treat my paper trades just as any other trade. I journal them. What could I do better? What did I miss? And how could I have traded that one better? And sometimes it takes a lot of time to figure out, okay, what did I miss? What's the logic behind that trade? And why was it not a good trade? And also what I do is if I took a trade and it was not the correct one, or I was too early or too late, I mark, okay, what should I have done? Why? And okay, this trade would have been better because there was the retest. At what time was the retest? And how much R would have gotten me? So my journaling was very, very extensive and it took a lot of time in the beginning, but that's where I really learned. But journal your paper trades just as you do your other trades, and then always ask yourself, what could I have done better, and what would have been the better trade, and mark that and make it visual. I stopped doing Excel sheets because I never looked at them. Yeah, one time, and then okay, my win rate now is that, and then I never look at it again. Hey, Mether C, how are you doing? But I wish I started journaling sooner, because that was where my growth really started coming. And I just didn't know what to journal, I guess. And I wish I started sooner. But Okay, I struggle with the journaling. Yeah, shoulder gold, and I totally understand that because I think I had this when the phase where you are in. It's sort of like, yeah, what do I journal exactly? And what I actually don't know what I'm exactly looking at, right? But just start, just do it, and just write down also what you're feeling. And it's your journal. You don't have to share it with anyone. It's your journal. And you learn the most of your losing trades. That's why a lot of influencers and people on YouTube, they don't share their losing trades because that's where the most information lies. They only share their winning trades. That's for a reason. Because the secret lies in the journaling after a losing trade. So a losing trade might be a losing trade, but you can make it a win because if you journal it really, really well, um, there's so much power in it. Yeah, I really want to emphasize that. So make it a positive by journaling it. And shoulder gold, even though it's hard to journal, just give it a, just see, okay, you already know about liquidity, you're asking a lot about gaps. Ask yourself the question, where is the liquidity and where are the imbalances? So add imbalances also to your chart, to your journaling. Just focus on those two things. What, uh, what did the market do? Did it take an imbalance or did it take liquidity? Just start writing that down, and there's no wrong or right, and you'll see at some point you'll see the difference, and then you'll also start seeing what the market is doing. Yes, I'm using Obsidian because it logs as a brain. I have never heard of Obsidian. That's interesting? Um, Obsidian. Is it does it also give you your? Um, I'll look into that. Okay, let's have a look at gold quickly. Gold, gold, gold. Gold is nice and bullish. So I like gold. Opening range gap of yesterday, literally only partially filled. But we have more. There was one more. There was another one which also wasn't filled at all. Let me see, because once we start going down to, here we go, same thing, right? You can see this one of Monday. With a gap here. So it's basically a markdown-based local first note-taking app that turns your okay web of idea. You're different from linear text. Okay, nice, interesting. It's a good. You'll get there. Don't worry. It's always hard, when you start doing it and you sort of like. But at some point it will get easier. Really, it does. Hey, no one said it would be easy. Hey, and if you just have to work a little bit harder than the average person. Most people are too lazy to do it. And that's why they never really, they just hear one thing. They just see, oh, liquidity, this liquidity, and it's going to go up there. No, there's so much more to it. Hey, David. First day paper trading and Q trading. I made 385 profit right at New York Open. Second day, 200. Well done. It's nice to paper trade, right? I mean, obviously you want to go to live trading, but I believe paper trading on live is much more, for me, it's more valuable than just back testing. Also, if you combine it with journaling, I feel the same emotions with paper trading on live, and in backtesting, I don't know, I just lack some kind of emotion or something, and I need that feeling, I guess, to make it more. Yesterday, I had a FOMO trade in a New York session. It was so stupid what I did, and I thought, you know what? Let me just, before I enter on my account, I'll put on the paper trade first. I haven't connected my account yet. I'm going to do that when everything with my live account is sorted. Then I'll paper trade my live account as well. But for now, I have not my trading view because sometimes it lagged and I just don't want it. I just want it to be separate. But so I put on and I thought, you know what? Every time and I'm not really sure and I feel like, oh, it's not. I just paper traded and then but it was so stupid what I did. It was like a breakout, but it was just above a previous week low. And it was the end of a macro, and I was like, afterwards, I'm like, what did I do? And I mentioned it as well because I needed to be shamed for that trade. That was really stupid. But I put a paper trade on, and I was like, wow. So I journaled it afterwards. What was that? Was just pure FOMO. That was pure FOMO. But I think that was because I didn't do London. I had a lot of shit going on with the Wi-Fi and the stream. And I was, I already made $300, and it's also like, why would you want to, risk the? So I eventually I did give back about $50 afterwards by just trying and just not being, the market just wasn't it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do, and that was pure FOMO. It was really funny to see, and then you write it down, you recognize it, and then you just your logic gets blurred or something, right? Because everything was actually already telling me it probably was going to reject a little bit higher, being their previous week low, because they're low, even though you go higher, it's also still used as a point of liquidity. And just 10, it was just after. And there was something else also. I was like, why did you disregard that as well? So, hey, Moshe Biton, how are you doing? So also on the 4-hour, I'm looking at this structure here. So you've got large sell side, buy side, sell side. So I'm just watching, like, are we able to get through this even, right? We're also at the beginning of the opening range gap at 930 as well. So these are all points of interest. You see here, block of orders, or hey, Hanshan, you are my first. Welcome. I've got my first member, Hanshan. Are you Dutch? Are you Dutch? Hans Jan is 2 Dutch names. So let me get into the daily pre-market prep because Hans Jan does. Yes, I am. Okay, hello. I'll continue in English, but it's always nice to have some Dutchies. So let me get into the daily pre-market prep. I was actually I didn't do much with it, but Hans Jan, because I had so many issues with the Wi-Fi and sorting it out. But what I'm going to do is that I used to do London, and then I used to stream after 10 o'clock. But I put the pre-market prep. That's my own pre-market prep. I do by myself. I do it by myself because it's very extensive. I go over the levels that I see in London and prepare myself for with the levels for the New York Open. And normally I don't do any stream before 10 o'clock. But the pre-market prep will be that part that I do by myself and with people that are very interested and go a little bit deeper. That's the point of what I'm doing. But I really want to keep it troll free. It has to be very serious. It's just me going over levels in a very short time. Boom, boom, boom. So it prepares people for the New York Open. People that can't watch the London session, going over the levels, boom, and that's the pre-market prep. And prepare them for the New York session. But it's actually what I'm doing by myself, but open it for a small group of people that are really interested in that area. So that is that. But I did not advertise it because I was like, you know what, we'll see how it goes. But Hanshan, you're number one. You're the first one. So yeah. And there is a separate area in the Discord. Oh, that's a good one, Hanshan. Let me also. I will share those levels in the Discord as well, but they will be only for the people that are part of the daily pre-market prep membership. Let me just. I have to update the Discord. So Hanjan, you need to get into the Discord as well because there will be a separate page. And I'm gonna work on it now from now on because now everything is we are back on track. No, correct. I'm gonna send you the new one. Here you go. I'm gonna pin it. For some reason, I have to change it almost every day, so I have to put it in the chat. I don't even put it in the description anymore. So yes, the Discord. There you go. That's the one. Thank you for supporting the channel as well, Hanxian. I appreciate it. You're the first one. I never advertise it or whatever. I just I find it really difficult to advertise those things, but I have to start doing that a little bit. So you're number one. You're my first subscriber. Thank you supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. So you see also the beginning and the start of opening ranges. Also here you can see they're reacting, but also because the time is here, right? And also an old. No. There's a little gap here as well. So let's see. And also what I'm watching here is if a body can go out of the daily breaker area. So that's why I'm just watching. I'm not interested in trading yet. Fair value gap. We might not even make it to this area, but let's see. Let me know if the link works. It should be fine. Okay, there we go. Okay, Hans-Jan. Hans-Jan, where are you from in the Netherlands? Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's see what we're doing. Midnight is here. Okay, I see some proper structure that I can use now. Breaker. Okay, let's see if we can do a breaker retest trade. Low, high, lower low. We're entering the 350 macro, so I want to see if this trade will give us a nice. Let me see the breaker retest long. If they can give us a 2R trade. Okay, I think I'm interested in this trade. I would love to see it go down a little bit more. Let's see. Small stop. Oh, it's just okay. I don't want. Hold on, and it needs only be one. One. I need to stop. Why is it only 3? I want 1. Okay. I'm gonna wait. We've got a gap here. Let's wait. 249. Let's see what the 250 to 310 macro is going to do. And London is going to open also in. I wonder if we can make it to this gap here. $250. There's going to be a stop out. That's fine. Okay, I think this is better now. Hold on. Hey, yeah, Jose, I think it's time to really take more attention in gold. I noticed, yeah. I'm actually very interested in gold, but I'm more interested in the short. I'm not really sure when it's ready to really. This looks like it might start to get ready to go down, but I don't see a proper breaker structure here, even on the 15. I really want a breaker, and I really want a retest of a breaker, and I don't see it yet on the 15. Still waiting for a little bit more clarity on it. Let's see what NQ is doing. Oh, that looks beautiful. I like this. 350, 254. Did you traded gold in Asia, Jose? Oh, I like this area as well. So maybe it's better for a short now, but going into this area to daily open. Okay, rejected. You see, we rejected at the opening range gap. I'm still not very eager to trade it, to be honest. I'm most likely going to go into this area here now. Nice wicks here. 4-hour wicks here. I'm going to wait. For me, it's a little bit, I'm not really sure. Because this is also a breaker, right? It's a breaker. Low, high, lower low. So we're still in the area. I'm just wondering if it can manage to go through this area here to the upside and go into this wick, or are we going to take this liquidity first? Is it imbalance or liquidity? We created this low with a 150 gap, 150 to 210. So I'm more inclined to think we are going to. Here we go. 257. I'm going to take this low here. I still don't trust it. As you can see, I'm not just not entering because I just don't want to be stuck in consolidation. It's 3 o'clock. Let's see what the first presented fair value gap is going to give us. The one we are forming now. I first want to see the first presented form. I just don't trust it. Look, this is engineered liquidity. Yeah. I know a lot of people are probably going short, but I don't feel comfortable short or long at the moment. Um, I think they're going to take out this liquidity now. Let's see. It needs to be a fast push if it wants to go through this level here. If it's a 4-hour distribution, it needs to push fast to get here. But this is all now engineered. This might be set up for a fast run. Let's see. But I wonder, why are you not getting this here first? Look, I've been waiting for this gap a long time, so actually I don't want to miss the trade, but I'm not going to get into a FOMO trade. This gap has been long overdue, so I really want to get in a trade, and I just don't know if the time is right. We did go into this fair value gap at 2. Are we now going to distribute to the downside and then take out all these levels? Or do I have to wait until the 350 macro? I've been waiting for this is an old gap. This is a very, I've been waiting for this gap. How long? A month. I've been waiting for this gap a month. I don't want to miss it. Longer than a month. I'm not entering in this price action. If it goes, it goes. But I need to wait a little bit longer. I don't like it. It feels very trappy to me. 31 minutes, yes, exactly. Look at the 1 hour here. They're making 1 hour babies. A lot of babies. But I do think it might distribute to the downside though. We've got a gap here. And then into this wicks. Did we disrespect this one? Yes, we did. first presented. Did we? Yes, here is the 303. Yeah, I'm getting in a sell. Stop loss because we went into here. This is my 42. It's 10 points. It's 10 points. That's okay for me to risk. Sometimes you need to risk a little bit and to find out to get intel, right? TP. And if it's wrong, I know the time is not right. Once we start going, I might be stopped out again, but that's okay. I mean, I'm only in my, I like this area here. 130. See, it's very trappy. I'm only in this is just a paper trade. I haven't entered, but if we are disrespecting the 3 o'clock again and this fair value gap, yes, it feels very trappy. Good question. You know, I'm in right, this green box is a month-old opening range gap. I'm just hoping that will be filled first. And there are other NWOGs we have still to do. Let me show you. Don't sleep on older ones. We still have some business, some older business to do. We still have some unfinished business here in this gap here. So we have some unfinished business here as well. But they're not as large as the one that we are waiting for. Okay, stopped out again. See, if I'm not sure, I just put on a paper trade before I put my money on the line. I haven't lost anything so far. It feels trappy. No money lost, but I got intel. So why is it choppy as well? You see, we have an N walk here and an N walk here. Both wicks are in the N walk. The bodies are beyond the midpoint, and we're sort of like sandwiched between this area, right? I'm gonna leave it on. You see, it's respecting this breaker, this larger one here. We disrespected the first presented fair value gap. But this equal highs, this is really trend line liquidity that's just being created to be taken out at some point. So maybe we might go one leg lower and then take this out. Oh, how are you, NQ? What are you doing? Oh, we had news. Didn't we have news in London as well? Let me check again, guys. Let me check. What date is it today? 21st of January already. Is it crazy? It's already 21 days after New Year. I feel like it's just, I'm still celebrating New Year's. GBP 2 a.m. So we had CP. I mean, this in London never really reacts. CPI at 2 a.m. What did happen at 2 a.m.? Let me see. 2 a.m. So 2 a.m. is here. Where's 2:30? So we made a high, equal high. Let's see if we have a Between 2:30 and 4, we want to see a high or a low in London form. Let's see which one comes first. Okay, Trump speaks at 8:30. We like that. 8:30 is a perfect time. And then at 10 a.m. we have pending home sales. Okay, interesting. Hey, is anyone of you guys also following the Australian Open, by the way? Any tennis lovers, Grand Slam lovers? Just curious. So for me, watching the Australian Open means a lot less sleep because of time. But I missed it today though, but I'm just wondering if anyone watched it. I don't play anymore, but I love watching the Grand Slam. You see how tricky it is, right? So we disrespect the first, this is not the first presented, by the way. This is now, we have a first presented here. The gap here. You see, it's not even forming a proper first presented fair value gap in the London Open. I'm looking at the 1 minute. It's going lower, lower, liquidity, high, lower high, lower high, lower high. A lot of flat bottoms, no wicks here. So dripping down again like yesterday. So I wouldn't be surprised if we go to the low that was formed in 150 to 210 macro, this area here. Let's have a look at gold again. Two large wicks. Going back and forth most likely for a time being. 90-minute high, so most likely it will go another leg higher. It goes into the wick first, then into the high here, or even here. I need more data. So at 3 o'clock we retested this beautiful first presented of 132.2 here. So this could have been a short, but I'm not interested in this price action. See how beautiful this wick here, exactly at 3 o'clock. You can really stop right above it here. We're at midnight now. Let's see if we take out this. Oh, okay, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, as we can see. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Midnight again. It's not an easy area to trade, right? I'm not interested in entering anything right now. I just really wanna. I would rather have it seen break one side because we're still in that breaker. Okay, let's see. Is this a structure? New breaker structure, and then this liquidity to be taken out. I would like to see that it takes out this low and then takes out this liquidity, because it's just forming all this beautiful liquidity right over here. This is just so beautifully engineered. Um, do 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 do. Okay, retest at 3 o'clock again. Do we have a fair value gap? We still have not a proper since London opened, there is no first presented fair value gap. There's nothing. No fair value gap. Since for 20 minutes almost. No fair value gap. Okay, I want to be. I think we might go up again. Let's see. Um, so we have suffered so much. There's so much areas in South Africa that have suffered so much rain. We also have a lot of rain here, but other areas that normally don't have that much rain, there's really overflowings and stuff like that. It's very bad, actually. A lot of areas are suffering. Do we have a first? Do we have a fair value gap now? Yes, a very small one, but it's already disrespected. so, so that's also like a signal, like you don't wanna engage, right? Waiting patiently, waiting, waiting. We're so patient. We're so patient. We are most patient people on earth. Oh, look, we have got a fair value gap. Oh, 323 are first presented. Well, yes, technically we had one here, but I just don't want to. I think this one is better, right? Um, this one is a little one, but this one is the first significant one. This one here I'm talking about. Let's see if it does not disrespect this one. Finally, finally, I don't like the text. It's just temporary. So here we have a significant one and one here. Let's see which one is going to be disrespected first. So you always have to include the gap. If there's a candle with a little gap here, you don't take the wick, but you include the gap, right? So this is the whole first percentage. $325. This looks similar to the PM session, right? Going lower. Well, let's see what AS has done. I don't have ES on my charts here. Okay, here we go. It's gonna take out this liquidity now. 327. First presented, retest at what time? 326. Hard to enter, to be honest. I mean, I'm not in it. This is really engineered liquidity to be taken out, so I wouldn't be surprised if we just have a nice, very fast run, because it needs to have a fast run to get through this. And then we're going to go into this wick most likely. Can I enter? Just going to run now. I missed it. We're going to go into this wick now. Yeah, this is going to be taken out. It's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. Let me see if I can still enter. David, yes, I did, but I hated having all those watch lists, and I just love having one chart, the NQ, and I started with ES, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have all those watch lists anymore, but I actually did, yes, but I will never go back to trading stocks. I just love NQ, which is technically a bunch of stocks. I find it much easier to do that, but I might go back to option trading again. I used to do that. That might be something I might look into, but now, for now, it's just okay. This is, well, I like it because it just simplifies your life, right? You just have to, with stocks, you have to look into every specific one, and with NQ, it's just one chart, literally, and the longer you trade one chart, the better you get to know the levels. And okay, let me just think if that's a nice entry. 330. I think I'm getting in. 330. I want to wait for 333. Let me just see. Break some structure here. We did not break this one. I'm sort of like, I just don't like. I wish we took this out here, this level here. Be a little bit more comfortable with the long. Oh, you took it? Oh, be careful with going too low in a consolidation area. I'm not too confident because we didn't take out this. I just don't like. I wish we took out this low that we created in at the 250 level. But let's see. Yeah, at some point you need to pull the trigger and just, if you're wrong, you're wrong. You journal it and you look. That's the right attitude. Shoulder gold. You go with what you see, and if it works, and if you have a logic, you take it, and if it works out, it works out, and if not, you journal and you learn, and you look for it, what you missed and what could do better, right? That's how you learn. And if you don't trust it, just paper trade it. If you're not 100% sure. For me, my time doesn't align also at the moment, so I'm just staying out because I really want this. I would love to see this being mitigated. This is a very important macro for me during London, because a lot of the times the levels that are being formed, especially during this macro, are being used, not always, but a lot of them. So that's why with the flat bottom here and not being like really like, what are we doing? What is price doing right now? It's not really clear to me, in the sense we could go here, but we could also go into these wicks here. It's either these wicks or this wick. That's not true, shoulder gold. You're just missing the mitigation. It always mitigates something. There's always a retest of something. I like to see. It's what I like to see. I would like to see this to be taken. But it has given some clues already here, 326 into this fair value gap. So I do see the mitigation to the upside, yes. But I don't exactly mating porcupine pattern, staying away. If it's not my pattern, if it's things for me doesn't line up, I miss the move. I'm fine. It's just not good enough for me to trade it because I don't like this price action. I'm just saying I would love to have seen this play out before I take it. I see that this has been created to be taken out, so I'm probably not going to miss the move because I just didn't feel comfortable taking it. So I just stay out because my trades are usually over 60 to 100 points on NQ, but I just need to see it more clearly and things need to line up. But we are getting to the 333 is here, and the 350 to 410 macro might give me a good entry. For me, this is just not good enough, so I'm not trading it. And like I say, if it would go here, I would really love to see this happen. Then I would be more comfortable. But this is a no. This is just for me a no burger. This is a nothing burger area. The way it's trading, it's a lot of traps. I see a lot of traps, and I don't want to be trapped. And if I miss it, I miss it. I don't see anything. For me, I don't see anything happening that really gets me interested in trading at the moment. It's very trappy right now. I think both long and shorts are being fooled at the moment. But hey, if you feel like trading it, be my guest, but be careful. Good morning, Michael. There we go. So that's why I marked these areas for these are the two significant fair value gaps that are in play right now, right? You can see it doesn't go over it, and now we're back into this one. So that's why I marked them as well to see which one is going to break first. I don't know if anyone is interested in playing. I don't want to be in this price action. Ranging before a better, yes, it's a horrible. It's a no go for me. It's a no go area. It was already. You could tell when we opened at 3 o'clock, we didn't form a first presented fair value gap until 322. I'm still looking at this area. I keep on repeating myself. I know I sound like a broken record, but what timeline are you in? I look at the one, this is on the 1 minute. This one is, I'm looking at the 4 hour, if we're distributing or not. I'm just looking at the higher time frame here, or at the 1 hour. You see how ugly this looks on the 1 hour? All these wicks here on the downside and wicks to the upside. I'm waiting for this. The first pre you marked out is the two. This fair value gap here is the one between 1:30 and 2 a.m. This one, and this one is the first one after 3 a.m. And we did not have a first presented fair value gap until 3:22. There were very small. I must say there were small ones. For example, if you have an automation, it will take this area here at 5 past because it's a gap, right? But I don't use that in a scenario like this when it's so wicky. I just want to like the one that gives displacement. But you can see it's in the area that gave the displacement anyway. So it's nothing wrong if you use this one, but this is a little bit larger. So I want to use this one just to see, and you can see we retested it though at 336. So, but I still don't trust it. I do think we might take this out, but I'm gonna miss that trade. Here we go. Thank you, Kumar, for subscribing. Why 1:30 to 2 a.m.? It's a range. It's an area of ICT mentioned it as well. It's a very important. It's the first presented like the 9:30 to 2 a.m. like the 1:30 to 2 p.m. like we have in the PM session. We also have a first presented. We have many first presented you can use. Literally, you can actually use all first presented of every hour, but the 1:30 to 2 is similar to the range that we use as well in the PM session. And you can see you have a very proper, you see, you can use this as an inversion as well, right? If you use this, it's an inversion fair value gap. But I use it in combination with the 1:30, the 150 to 210 macro, because I always look, what happened in a 150 to 210 macro? We formed a low without a wick. We went up, and the level did not go higher than so we went up during the macro into this first presented, right? But then we went further up. We created a high with equal highs. We went lower, but we didn't take out this low. So now we're literally just ranging. We are ranging between the level between 152 and 220. Yeah, so ICT said, when he got asked about the first presented, he says the 1:30 to 2 a.m. first presented is valuable for the London session. To be used only during London, that's what he said. The one that's formed after 3 o'clock, so the first presented after the London Open, that you can use all day. His words. So what I'm looking at right now is like, okay, we're just not breaking it anymore. We're also here at an end wall, right? So we're sort of like rejecting. Now I wouldn't be surprised if we spike through it, but do you see them being good still? Yes. I have another tab open with first presented fair value gaps as well. Let me show. Is it this one? Um, this is a first presented where you can see here as well. We are not going. The bodies are not going below it. I had to reset all my levels. I don't know exactly. I lost a few tabs, but on the 1 hour we can see this fair value gap here, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we spike up into this fair value gap. So we're gonna make one leg higher, but you see the price action is so, it's just not the way I want it to go. That's weird. Why is my Nasdaq 1 hour looks different than this one? Oh, I see. I'm sorry, guys. I put it on, this one was on, I was like, why is it so different? Okay. See this here? This is holding us down as well. See, on the 1 hour, we took internal liquidity here, and let's see if we can go for external on the 1 hour. See, we went already into this fair value gap here. So 344. Hey, Elevated Life, how are you doing? The gap is a RTH gap. So, shoulder gold. Hey, Alex, how are you doing? Yeah, they're not, the algo is still the same. Don't worry about that. So shoulder gold, what really helps sometimes, if you're wondering about gaps, right? Just go to you go to the higher time frame, like say the 1 hour or the 15-minute or 4 hour, and then you just go to RTH, and then you can see all the gaps very clearly. And then you also, if you go through the different time frames, you'll see difference of price action going through them, right? So you need to just go to RTH and just go, because it's hard if you go to if you use the indicator, you have to, if you go back in time, you have to put them all like 1, 2, and if they're 10 weeks away or 10 days, you have 10 of them, and if you extend them, it's hard to see. So it's better to go into the RTH on your trading view and then look at the gaps and mark them yourself. But the green box is an old RTH gap, correct? But when we trade away from them, I mark them, and especially if we have, especially when they are totally not mitigated, I know that okay, it's going to be revisited at some point, and then it's very important data for later. So that's why I'm also like, okay, what are we doing now? It's always good to zoom out a little bit. Are we going to go here, or are we going to go lower? What are we going to do? We're just hanging. Exactly. We're just we're just hanging. We have to be calm. I really don't mind not being in a trade in this area, and I just don't. I really am totally fine. I took a a few steps on paper and they were all losing trades, it tells me that I'm not in tune with the market. And I'm also not interested in this back and forth. And also on the 5-minute, when you see wicks, like you see a wick here and you see a wick here. It's typical when you have the two large wicks. One of the two will break at some point, but it goes back and forth for a while. Because wicks are a bunch of gaps, and gaps takes time to be, to be worked through. So that's why when you see large wicks on both sides of price action, especially if you see 1 hour wicks being formed and 4 hour wicks, and you look at the chart now, it's either going to reject in a wick or it's going to work its way through to the upside and then take this liquidity, for example. But this wick went into this fair value gap already, so I wonder if we are going to go higher, but we'll see. Yes, yeah, so go on the higher time frame, go to RTH and then look at the gaps, because apparently smart money, they use those gaps for their trading. So that's why even though we trade 24 23 hours, they do look at those gaps that have been formed during overnight. So it's very important to use them, yes. We're just hanging. Hanging. This wick is not a swing one. What do you mean it's not a swing one? Every wick is a bunch of gaps. Remember that. What you can do, for example, I'll just mark this one for just for fun, just for the sake of it, to show something. Let me just do this. I'm going to go to the 1 minute. So I mark this purple line is that 5-minute wick. Now you look for the gaps in here. You can see there is fair value gap, this one. So if you have a higher time frame, just mark it and look at the go into the lower time to see, okay, what do I find in that gap? What's happening? You go in the 30 seconds, for example, and you just look. You can see on the 30, there are a lot of little gaps here created. So all what price is doing is going back and forth and balancing out these little imbalances. And what you see every time what happens is they create a new one here, then they create a new one, then they create a new one, they create a new one. So that's why it's going back and forth, because they're constantly creating little gaps, little openings, flat tops, flat bottoms, little wicks here. So that's why it's going back and forth and not moving away from it, because every time. So if you see, especially for you, shoulder gold, because I know you're very interested in it, just mark them, especially on the higher time frame, and then look what's happening on the lower time frame in that wick. then you really start to understand the logic of a wick. I guess it's the tip of the day. Yeah. So what's happening in this wick? Why is price action doing this? But on the higher time frame, it's not a swing. So that's actually a good point that shoulder gold is making, because we have a dealing range right over here, right? We have a range that formed here and here. So would you consider this a range? No, because we are already working our way within. We have a dealing range already here. It is just a wick that is formed within a range. And also, you have another wick here, right? Wick. So it's just manipulation. It's just manipulation to keep price in this area. But technically, this is the range we're in. We're just ranging within the range that it's formed at 220 and 310. But technically, you cannot even call this a dealing range. Did we take out liquidity? Not really. The true dealing range is this area, here to here. This is actually the true dealing range. 152 here. Um, yeah. So now we're working our way in this wick. So if I would mark that wick and go in the lower time frame, you'll see the same thing. A lot of barcoding, a lot of little openings. It's constantly creating little imbalances to go back and forth to. So that's why we're going back and forth, and it stays a long time. That's the logic behind those wicks. But technically, a shoulder gold, you could call this a short-term high because it has a lower high, two lower highs, but it would qualify as an intermediate short-term high, which could be taken out, right? But as for a dealing range, I don't consider them. I just use them as a wick. Like, hey, what is price doing in this wick? But technically, as a purist, you should consider them as intermediate or short-term highs in this case, because you have two lower highs next to them, right? Okay, we're already in the 350. Oh, Michael, you were lucky in 2M and Q trades and made $66 early today. Now I'm not trading. Yeah, it's a hard area. We're just ranging, and let's see if the 350 to 350 macro is giving us something. Isn't it nice just not to trade and just be able to identify low probability areas? I think that's a win too, right? Just being able to know when not to trade. I wish I learned that sooner, to be honest. That would save me a lot of money. Definitely would have. Okay, let's see. I'm still interested in this area before I really get interested in trading anything. So imbalances that have been created in a macro are also they can be more also of very high significance as well, right? So this has been formed between the 150 to 210 macro. So I'm just watching if we are going to disrespect this fair value gap again. Look, we disrespected this one here already. So I really want to see this area being traded into now. I'm not trading it. I'm okay to let it go. 355. Okay, we had a retest here. I think we might have some down movement. 1 hour candle. 4 o'clock coming. There we go. Oh shit. 350 is gonna do it. Gosh, I want to see the 1 hour. We're gonna finally go. Exactly. That's when your P&L starts growing, right? When you trade, when you take less trades, and when you don't trust it, you just don't enter. And if it goes your way, which you thought I really don't care. If I would miss this trade either or here or to here, it doesn't do anything for me because I know it's still London time. And it gives you a lot of information, right? For New York. We are really lucky to be able to look into the charts. Ranging in the breaker. 4 o'clock. Let's go into the wick and then down. Let's see. How many points? 1-9. Yeah, I'm not interested in a small trade like this. But I'm interested in a trade like this though. Let's see. What are we doing? There you go. There we go. Got some, NQ got some laxative. Okay, okay. What time did you do? 4 o'clock. I like that, but I still don't. I cannot trust it. I don't like to put my money on the line. I would love it to see to go into this wick a little bit and then go down. So that will be an entry for me to trade off. But now I just have to wait. Equals, and we have a wick here. Let's see. I think I'll just paper trade it. I don't feel like trying, but let's see if I get my fill. Let me quickly, because we were in the macros too. I'll just paper trade it. Here we go. Just a paper trade, guys. Okay, come on. Okay, come on, go now. I want this level to be mitigated finally. Come on, go. Do it. There we go. All the information for me is in the wicks. All I needed to know. Okay, let's go, go, go. Yes, let's finally do that. The work is done in the wicks, and now it can go to that little bloody area. I've been looking at this since a long time. And why is it not going there sooner, right? Oh, why now? Or maybe not. I could still be manipulated out of it. I don't think. Oh, I think I can even put my TP a little bit lower. 166. One 179. Now I know a lot of people, they were like, probably, what the hell are you doing? Why are you going short here when there's liquidity here, right? I had that comments last time as well. Now the only downside is it left a lot of gaps again, so it could go higher before going lower. And we are out of macro, out of the time for 11, so let's see. It might go up into this wick, but my stop is here. I'm not going to get out. If it stops me out, it stops me out. Should maybe put it higher, but I don't think it's going to go high, that high again. Go. Hey Shamo, hey, long time no see. Yes, Shamo. I was wondering how you were doing. I know you were taking a little bit of break as well of the charts. Hope you're doing well as well. You're all good. Yes. I passed 1,000 subscribers last week, so it was a big moment. But doing really well. Yes, everything going well. Hope to see you back soon. Hope you're doing okay health-wise. Yeah. So what I'm just thinking, maybe it's just this is it for the move, maybe because on the higher time frame, I did notice that we did take out this wick, went lower than this wick, which was formed during that macros one. It just rejected in this wick, so maybe this is a little bit too much to ask for now. Just creating more wicks. I'll just wait. Yeah, I have decided to officially switch, so I will be, yes. You'll love futures. I mean, you just have to focus on one chart only, and that's it. Now, come on, give us one more push lower. Break out of that range. So this is a problem when you want too much of the market on a time like this. You just take your money and run, right? Just don't. In this case, it didn't. It just took out this liquidity here. and the macro stop, you just get out. When the macro stops, you just get out. Instead of waiting, you're just wasting a lot of time. Time is money too. No, I don't think we are. We rejected here, we rejected. We took out liquidity in the hourly. It's quarter past. So are we going to go lower? Are we going to reject? Yeah, okay, I'm getting out. Okay, I should have gotten out after the macro was done here. So this was exactly 4:10 in midnight. So I have to journal that. So the analysis was good. Timing, you know, macro was done. If you trade the macro and you see like a level like this hit, exactly rejected in the midnight again, and we're still ranging technically. Still didn't do this, but on the higher time frame, if you look on the higher time frame, it actually did. It took out the liquidity of this low that formed in the end of this macro. So see this here on the 5 minute. It took out this one. That was enough. So I was looking at the wrong one actually a little bit. So I was looking here. I was looking at this flat bottom, but you see how if you scroll through time, now I still think it's going to take it, but you want to be in and out, right, on a trade like that. On the 5 minute, you can see this flat bottom has been already, this wick has already been taken here, so it doesn't really, it's not so strong on the 5 minute. And this wick to the downside did take out this liquidity here. So, but so we formed, did we form the London low at the time? We don't have anything lower. 314. London low just after 4. London high 328. Okay. I still think there's more room to the downside. Hey, bit hit. Oh my god. Hey, make money online. This is just a paper trade. It was a lot of a consolidation. I just want to see if my analysis was correct. How did you fix your mic? Oh my god, yesterday. So I stopped London session and I was busy until 10 o'clock Eastern with ChatGPT, trying all sorts of things. I had to install new drivers. I had to do a lot of things. And I have to give in a little bit on the quality. So now it's a 720 stream, but at some point I need to get back to 1080. But I'm just happy with this now. No crackling, no freezing. Just go back to this, and then from that, at some point I will get back to maybe even go when I start investing in other equipment. It needs to be 4K maybe, but we'll see. We'll take it step by step. But today you're full of energy. Yes. I'm happy that the stream is well, and that I'm not breaking up and stuff like. I'm really happy, and I'm happy that I really was so upset that I couldn't stream London, and you know, it's just it's such a routine of mine as well for trading to look at the levels, and it helps me prepare for the day. So if I'm not, yeah, well, anything looks better than what we had, right? I mean, it looks fine, but when I would use when I would record it or use the YouTube download, it gets bad if I make if I download the recording, the YouTube recording, it sort of like takes away a lot of quality. So if I would do a recap or something, it looks a little bit weird, but we'll see. I have to find a way to record at the same time. Oh, I just want to know now if my level is going to be hit. Let me see. And see the time. So I said somewhere around my TP was, hold on, what did I say? Yeah, I would say 180. Let's see if it can go to 180. I want to see it go to 180 maybe. Can we reach that? $422. Yeah, it looks fine for now. But I'm sort of a perfectionist, you know. It's like we're 5 months in now, and oh, there we go. 180 was my TP. I wanted to go to 180 here. So I want to go here. Hey, reserve trader. You see how patience always works, right? If you just wait, at some point you will see, and you get a much better trade than trading that back and forth, and now you got some distribution. I got out of the trade already, but you see now you have your nice distribution trade instead of that back and forth. We're out of the breaker now with displacement. That's what you want to see. So I guess we're on our way, maybe even lower to 171. Okay, finally. What time did we do it? 4:21. Okay. Now I'm happy. Oh, reserve trader, how I feel about the markets today? Well, we had a lot of chop, so you just came at the right time, because finally we've been sitting here looking at chop all morning, literally. But now finally NQ got some, the laxative is working. We took out some wicks. And now we're working our way into an old opening range gap. I guess we're finally going down into the gap. I'm going to do some more work here. NQ is going to be a busy boy today. NQ has a lot of work to do. We have to be very nice to him or her, and have to be very supportive, because he or she is going to be very busy today. You see on the 15 here, oh, this one is already mitigated. We've got a gap here. Well, anyway, have we taken any previous day highs or low? We went into internal liquidity, reserve trader. We went into a higher time frame fair value gap. So we took internal liquidity on the NQ. So now we're on our way to external liquidity. So I would say this one is in play now. But it's a little bit herky-jerky today, so it's not easy. It just goes back and forth all the time. Why? Because there's a lot of wicks in the area. We did go through all of them here. Let's see. This old opening range gap is not a. It's going to be. I wonder if it's going to be low resistance. We'll see. So previous day low most likely is a draw on liquidity. Previous day low is also the low of yesterday's Asia, right? So I could see that. Yeah, I definitely could see this as a draw on liquidity, but we also have a daily, yesterday's daily open as well here. But I would be more interested, reserve trader, if I may make a suggestion. I would rather be interested in this wick. As weird as it sounds, I would be more interested because I wouldn't be surprised if we reject in this wick before taking out this low. So I would grade this wick, right? That wick that creates the low, because it's not a small wick. I would grade it. And because I wouldn't be surprised if we do not take this low out straight away, we might reject in it. So you want to grade it and see in what area it's going to reject. Yeah. We might not get there in one line, in one straight. So we also have here, if we even get there. We'll see. Okay, guys. You see relatively equal on the hourly. Ooh, let me have a look. Where? Oh, we just took those out now. Right now, this wick today, just this hourly took out this one, right? We just took out this one here. So we just swept this monthly. So the next one that's this one, this area here. But yeah, let's have a look at the OTE level. Where are we in the OTE? .5 is in the wick. So. See, finally going. Oh, you're looking there already. Okay. Could be. Yes, it's the whole green area on my chart is an area which needs to be balanced out because it's a large imbalance. So I definitely could see that too. Yeah. But let us first see what happens here because it's also we're also at the event horizon, so we could reject here as well and go because we also could go back up here. Let's just see. We're still in a consolidation area, right? This is still consolidation. Oh, you haven't opened your chart yet. Hey, you know your levels well. Oh, you're looking at my chart. I got you. Okay, I got you. You're looking at my chart and you're seeing. I see what you see. Yes, you see these here. I got you. I got you. Yes. But this whole gap here is still. There's a lot of work to do there. So we'll see. I just hope we get a low resistance liquidity. But guys, remember also. I just want to point out again What time frame was that? Also this area here, right? What we've been doing here. Oh, we didn't mitigate it. No, never mind. Forget what I said. Forget what I said. Okay, guys, I need to do some stuff. Any questions before I leave? I will have to do my first pre-market prep now because of my first subscriber. Yeah, I don't know if Jan is still here. Hans Jan. Any questions? You happy trading as well, and I'll see you later. Any questions about price action today? Anything you want me to go over quickly before I let you go? I'm more than happy to. Was everything here clear why I wanted to short instead of a long, even though there was liquidity up here? Is that? It's funny that no one actually asked a question, because I was like, there was liquidity right above here, and I was interested in a short here. I was actually thinking, oh, are there no comments? And there was zero comments about it. I was like, oh my god, they're coming. But I was using this wick, and I was using it at 0.5. Let me go. It was this specific wick, and I was marking this area, and my stop was right above. So I put my stop right above here, right above the liquidity. It was just a few points. It was not more than 10 points. So imagine if you just have a few micros. It was very low risk, and it was a large. Well, I let it run a little bit against me, but if I just multiply the macro, let me see, what was it? Where was 410? It was here, 49, 410. Let me see how many points was it. Let's say 25 points. Okay. I normally don't trade I usually trade larger trades, but I mean, it's still nice after a few hours of wait. Hey, Soy, Javisha, Necro said it will dip hard. Is it true? Well, I do believe we are going into this green box. That's only 200 points from here, around about 200 points. Let's have a look at the daily quickly. I mean, we do have a trade war. I mean, with the Greenland stuff going on, I guess that is sort of like. So this green box, if we would fill this green area, we would still be above the midpoint of the daily breaker. So I would be very. The daily breaker is this breaker here. And I'm just wondering, like, are we going to reject maybe at the midpoint here of the breaker and go back up? So I'm bearish until 24, let's say 25,000. And then I want to reassess. So I am not going to say I'm bearish, but I'm bearish until this level. And then I just want to reassess because it's the midpoint of the daily breaker and also a potential rejection block. So here, if I would stay, and also if I am quite confident that we're going to work in this area now, because I've been waiting a month out for this area. So, and that's still above the midpoint of the daily breaker. So, like I said, I'm bearish until this area here, until 25,000 in this area, and then I reassess what's happening here, and then I just want to see what price is doing. So yeah, I guess that's it for now. But then again, price action is a little bit, I would just wait. We got Trump at 8:30 speaking, so just be careful now, because even though soy, it was the wick soy. It was the wick, because let me go back to the 1 hour. So we have a fair value gap here on the 1 hour, right? Yeah. Let me mark it. So I was looking at this fair value gap, and the bodies did not go into the fair value gap, just wicks. And let me see, it was, yeah, it was a 350 to 410 macro. And I was also looking at the N walk. So the N walk was also like, here we have the wick tap into the N walk, but did not go higher. Then we formed another wick which was lower. So it was already showing weakness, right? So then I marked this wick here. So I was already getting intel or with all this information. I mean, I wasn't wasting my time here. I was just collecting intel and, you know, paper trading and losing during paper trade, and all those losing trades just help you. So let's see. Was it this one? Yeah, here we go. Let me change this to just half, because I just needed the midpoint. Yeah, so this wick here was between the 350 and 410 macro, so there's this area. So I saw this spike up here at 4:03. Now I understand that most people are like, oh, what are you doing? It's bullish. Well, for me it was a confirmation, because it spiked just above the 0.5 above this wick, and I wanted to see rejection straight away. So I put my stop right above this level here, which was also a fair value gap. There's a lot of information here. Hold on. Let me go to the 5 minute here. It makes it a little bit more clear. So I was also looking at this fair value gap here, an inversion. Bodies are not going over it, and this was the area that I got in here. I had a little bit of drawdown very shortly, and my stop was right above here. It was about 10 points. And for me, this was important, that the midpoint of this wick was being mitigated, and I wanted rejection, and we got that. So, and then it started rejecting and went down. Analysis paralysis, yes, can be a real thing, definitely, if you don't know what you're looking at yet. But at some point, because I have a lot of things on my chart, and I look at a lot of things, and in the beginning, when you think, oh, I need that information, your brain needs to process it, and then you miss the trade because but you get better at it, and you know at some point what you need to look at. For me, it is, okay, well, this was an important fair value gap, and this one was an important fair value gap. But I've got other tabs open, and I know a lot of people were complaining about my charts because there was a lot of information on it, and people are like, yeah, it's too much, I cannot, you know. So I had to change that a little bit, but I look at them outside the stream without hurting your eyes, because I look at a lot of things all the time. And but at some point you get used to what you need for your trading, but you have to at some point cut down to make your charts. But I can have a lot of information on my charts and trade off them, but I know a lot of people hate it, and I got a lot of complaints about it. So but it is a thing, analysis. But in the beginning you have to find out, right? You have to find out what is the information that you need, and then you have to work backwards, like, okay, but what do I need to frame a trade? What do I need to look at? So at some point you need to have some information, and it might be too much, and then you have to sort of like balance that a little bit. Hey Richard, the green box is an old opening range gap that I marked. So it's the old open. I'll show you. Oh, good questions, guys. Good questions. Love it. Let me go to the 1 hourly. So I'll go to the 4 hour. So I marked it already. So I have an indicator which shows me the opening range gaps, but at some point when we move away from it, I mark them because I think, oh, there's work to be done. I'll go to the regular trading hours. I'll go to the daily. Why is it not showing here? Am I on RTH? I should be. Yes. Okay. I think something happened with my opening range gap here because this is not. What happened here? It doesn't show. Daily. And this doesn't need any filling. This is already done. Okay, I have to figure it out. Something is off here. I think it moved. Uh-oh. Okay, I have to figure it out. So, but it's supposed to be an old opening range gap, but I wonder if it's still valid. But anyway, we'll see. We're going down anyway, yeah. We're going down anyway. Okay, guys. Thank you, David. Appreciate it. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, it was ranging. You wanted a rejection, and it was the top area of the range. Yes, I was using the wick, and I was aiming for a level that was formed during a macro. I mean, you can see here we're in this fair value gap right here. Boom. But I think it's still a tricky area though. Still would be a little bit careful. But now you can see we're going down. We're in a daily breaker right now, so let's see. And I'm interested until the midpoint, about 25,000, and I'm going to reassess. Freighter Redux, my favorite stream. So overall, that bro energy, ego-driven hype, trading content, it fires your nerves harder than trading actually does. Thank you, Freighter. Yes, I just keep it simple. I try to just, focus on. Well, I mean, I'm so lucky with the chat as well, and I just try to focus on not trading as well, paper trading, taking A+ setups, and just more about logic. And instead of just putting on just a lot of trades, and just be honest also about my struggles. And I must say, what I really love about this chat is everybody does their thing, and people, if they put it on trade, they say what they're trading and what the logic is behind the trade. So we all learn from each other, and we don't have any ego. I think if you have an ego-driven person, you don't feel very comfortable here, I guess, anyway, because we don't do that here. And if if you're annoying, I'll ban you. I'll just, there's not much room for annoying people. So yeah, I'm very lucky. Well, thank you guys. It's my thank you to you. And I'm really happy. Freighter Redox. I cannot be more happy at how things are going. And I never expected this also to go the way it's going. Hey, Bluesy, how are you doing? And Bluesy is also one of them. And we are very good traders here as well. And everybody goes over, their logic. And it's not like, oh, I made so much money today. It's totally not the. That's why I only show ticks on my when I put a trade on. It's not important how much money one makes. It's more important what is the logic behind the trade, why, and my trading style doesn't have to resonate with you, but it's sort of like, and I love it also. If I put on a trade, people fade me all the time here. I'm going long. Okay, well, that's good. So no one is really, there's no signal surface here whatsoever. Just took a short. Hey, okay, good for you. Yes, I'm doing well. I was just actually logging off because I need to do some stuff. It was a choppy session, but eventually, and Q has some laxative now, so it's running. Oh, Bluesy, I was busy all day yesterday with it. But I gave in. I gave in to some quality, but I have to still. I have to invest in some better hardware, so it'll come. At least I'm not crackling. At least I can really now stream without sounding like a robot. That was the main thing. So yes, that is sorted. But it was very stressful yesterday, and I missed a lot of trading as well because of it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. Hope to see you later on today. And I want to thank you again. And Hans-Jan, we'll do the pre-market prep together. And I'll see you later. So no more questions. I need to do some groceries. I need to clean up a little bit. So I need to also do a lot of. Have a nice day as well, Michael. I'll see you back soon. I love you guys. I see you back. Bye bye.